Freemasons, the Hellfire Club, the Majestic 12, the Illuminati. Elite societies shrouded in mystery. Their rituals range from the strange to the bizarre. Billionaires, generals, and even U.S. presidents have belonged to these secret and some say sinister organizations. Could an elite group of power players be controlling the world? What are these mysterious organizations? Do their hidden agendas control the masses? Is their far-reaching influence a myth or a frightening reality? Tonight, we go inside the top 10 mysterious and powerful organizations to find out if their plans should have every one of us thinking twice about who really controls the world. What if the history you were taught in school was all a lie? Is our government controlled by a secret society? Welcome to the world of conspiracy, where cover-ups, secrets, and hidden agendas all trace back to a single source. We're about to unseal the secret files the government doesn't want you to know about. This is Unsealed, Conspiracy Files. Secret societies have been around for centuries, and suspicion about their activities has been around for just as long. Tonight, we count down history's top 10 secret societies and reveal what may be the most dangerous organization the world has ever known. Number 10, the Hellfire Club. Founded in the 18th century, the Hellfire Club boasted some of England's most notorious high society revelers among its members. On the surface, it was just another elite social club, but behind closed doors, the Hellfires were rumored to engage in orgies, pagan rituals, and sacrifices to strange gods. The club's most famous member was also perhaps its most surprising. He was none other than Benjamin Franklin, eminent scientist and pivotal figure in the fight for American independence. But did one of America's founding fathers really have a dark side? Not long ago, evidence of a very different Benjamin Franklin was unearthed beneath his house in London. On February 11th, 1998, men performing restoration work on Franklin's London home make a grisly discovery: a human thigh bone. Further digging uncovers the bodies of 4 adults and 6 children. Forensic analysis reveals the remains all date to a time when Franklin owned the home. According to London's Sunday Times, the bones showed signs of deliberate dissection. Were these people victims of a brutal Hellfire Club ritual? Were they the human sacrifices of a secret society whose members answered to no laws but their own? And could they still exist? A cult leader, Aleister Crowley, was rumored to be living the Hellfire lifestyle well into the 20th century. Crowley died in 1947, the same year our next secret society came together. Number 9, the Majestic 12. The Majestic 12 is an organization so secret that no individual or governing body has ever gone on record to confirm it exists. Its origins trace back to a mysterious executive order signed by U.S. President Harry Truman. In it, he is said to have approved the formation of a hand-picked group of America's greatest scientific minds to oversee the nation's top-secret UFO research program at Area 51. There, the Majestic 12 took the debris from crashed flying saucers and re-engineered them for use here on Earth. The result has been an unprecedented era of technological advance. When President Kennedy took office in 1961, some claim Eisenhower warned JFK of Majestic 12's secrecy and increasing rogue power. It is alleged that Kennedy sent several top-secret memos to Allen Dulles, director of the CIA, requesting full disclosure of any information he had concerning extraterrestrial life. But experts claim Dulles also refused to cooperate. In 1963, Kennedy allegedly turned to Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev to form an alliance against the growing power of the Majestic 12. But just 10 days after this agreement was reached, John F. Kennedy was dead. Was the Majestic 12 involved in the assassination of JFK? And are the Majestic 12 still investigating UFOs today? Our next secret society was also trying to secure their future by burying the truth. At number 8, the Knights of the Golden Circle. The Knights of the Golden Circle was a legendary group of Confederate officers who, after their defeat, swore to see the South rise again. April 6, 1865. The American Civil War is drawing to a bloody close. The Confederacy is in full retreat. General Robert E. Lee wires President Jefferson Davis with an urgent message to evacuate. The Confederacy is in full retreat, and the southern capital of Richmond, Virginia could fall at any moment. A train arrives to carry government officials to safety, but behind it follows a second, secret train. Rumor has it hundreds of barrels of gold bullion is quietly loaded onto that train, which departs for an unknown destination. By the time Davis is captured, the gold has mysteriously vanished. Many experts believe the fortune was given to the Knights of the Golden Circle, who buried it, patiently waiting for the day when they will rise up against the North. Rumored to be among its members were Lincoln assassin John Wilkes Booth and famed outlaw Jesse James. It's unknown whether a new generation of Knights still stands guard over the Confederate gold, but finding it has become an obsession for many modern treasure hunters. Until they do, the existence and ultimate fate of the Knights of the Golden Circle will remain a mystery. Coming up, we see religious fanatics, CEOs, and an infamous fraternity all reaching out to seize the globe as we count down to the #1 most dangerous organization the world has ever known. On Unsealed, Conspiracy Files. Welcome back to the world of conspiracy. This is Unsealed, Conspiracy Files. We're counting down the world's top 10 most dangerous secret societies. Number 7, Opus Dei. Opus Dei. Founded in Spain in 1928, this Catholic order tells us that an ordinary life is the path to blessedness in the eyes of God. But in practice, Opus Dei is far from ordinary. They practice a bizarre blood ritual known as the mortification of the flesh, in which members cruelly whip themselves in an act of bloody atonement for their sins. But what kind of order would demand such a sacrifice? And has Opus Dei ever inflicted such violence on others? June 18th, 1982. Blackfriars Bridge, London. The body of Roberto Calvi, known as God's banker, is found dead, hanging from the bridge's scaffold. Calvi had been the chairman of one of Italy's biggest banks, with close ties to the Vatican and Opus Dei. Calvi's death is ruled a suicide, but just 2 months later, his bank is crushed by more than $1.2 billion in debt. Did Opus Dei bring down his bank as a warning to any who might challenge them? Is Opus Dei quietly plotting to expand its power? And is it willing to go to any length to get what it wants? Opus Dei is an order built on bizarre ritual. It's also the calling card of our next secret society. Number 6, the Bohemian Club. The Bohemian Club began in San Francisco in 1892 as a secret arts society that held a yearly summer festival in the nearby forest of Bohemian Grove. But over the decades, the guest list has grown to include U.S. presidents, top CEOs, and governing members of the Ivy League. But outside the heavily guarded compound, rumors of a bizarre ritual abound. It's called the Cremation of Care ceremony and is said to take place before a 40-foot hollow owl. During the ceremony, a hooded figure travels by boat to the foot of the owl, while onlookers hold up torches and ominous music blares from loudspeakers. At the end of the ceremony, an effigy is placed on the altar and set ablaze. The true meaning behind this strange and somewhat sinister ritual remains unknown, and it raises some disturbing questions about the powerful men who take part. Why are they there, and what do they really believe in? Next up is another all-male secret society that includes a man who defined the 21st century. Number 5. Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones, Yale University's infamous fraternity. Founded in 1832, its membership, both past and present, reads like a who's who of America's rich and powerful. From bankers and millionaires, to congressmen and senators, to presidents like George Bush Sr. and his son, George W. Bush. The fraternity meets in the Tomb, a crypt-like structure rumored to have a massive pentagram carved into one of its stone walls. According to the New York Times, inside the tomb, Skull and Bones members may have displayed the actual skull of the famous Apache warrior Geronimo. These strange surroundings left an indelible impression on the young minds of some of America's most influential men. None more so, perhaps, than Henry Stimson, Secretary of War to Presidents Roosevelt and Truman. Stimson saw the U.S. through the bloody years of the Second World War. He was the determined architect of the Manhattan Project, which created the world's first atomic weapons dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Will Skull and Bones produce another defense secretary or president, a man who might determine the world's fate? And do they still influence the modern nuclear arms race? Coming up, we're about to reveal a society so vast and all-encompassing, they are almost hiding in plain sight, as we count down to the number 1 most dangerous secret society on Unsealed Conspiracy Files. Welcome back to the world of conspiracy. This is Unsealed Conspiracy Files. We're counting down the world's top 10 most dangerous secret societies. Number 4, the Bilderberg Group. This vastly influential organization of politicians, financiers, and industrialists meets every year. Through the years, its members have included King Juan Carlos of Spain, U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, British Prime Minister Tony Blair, and German President Angela Merkel. The first meeting took place in May 1954, and its goal was clear: to extend the political and economic influence of America and Europe across the globe. The Bilderberg Group claims to be working for the good of the entire world. But if it's not to be feared, then why does the group continue to meet behind tightly closed doors? Does it have a secret agenda? Conspiracy experts believe, with the help of groups like NATO, the World Trade Organization, and the International Monetary Fund, the Bilderberg Group is attempting to construct a new world order that permanently places political and economic power in the hands of the West. Our next secret society wrote the book on mysterious influence with potentially deadly repercussions. Number 3, the Knights Templar. Founded during the Middle Ages, these elite warriors fought to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to Jerusalem. During the Crusades, they would slaughter thousands of innocent Muslims in the name of religion. Many experts believe that Templars recovered the Ark of the Covenant in Jerusalem and took it back to Europe. Others believe they recovered the Holy Grail. But they would eventually run up against the power of the Vatican, which accused them of heresy. The Templars were ultimately hunted down and murdered by papal forces in the early 14th century. Today, their descendants are ruled by the Order of the Garter, led by none other than Prince Charles, heir to the throne of England. Could this legendary band of warriors one day rise again and wield its influence? Our next group also emerged from Europe to become one of the most famous and influential secret societies in the world. Number 2, the Freemasons. The Freemasons emerged from the stone masonry guild of medieval times. By the 1700s, the Freemasons were wielding a powerful influence over the governments of Europe and America. This famous painting of George Washington, wearing Masonic garb, illustrates the Masonic influence in America at the time of the American Revolution. It is estimated that of the 39 men who signed the U.S. Constitution, 13 were Freemasons. 14 U.S. presidents have been Freemasons, including Theodore Roosevelt, Harry Truman, and Gerald Ford. Experts have found many hidden designs in Washington, D.C. that suggest the influence of Freemasonry over the founding fathers of modern democracy. Today, there are Masons in every country on Earth. Freemasonry has even found its way to the moon. Conspiracy theorists even claim that world-famous astronaut Buzz Aldrin took a Masonic flag to the first moon landing. With so many members in positions of power, what could stop the Freemasons from joining forces to seize power across the globe? Coming up, we reveal the most dangerous secret society of all time on Unsealed Conspiracy Files. Welcome back to the world of conspiracy. This is Unsealed Conspiracy Files. The time to act is now. There are 3 simple steps you can take to unseal the truth.
Follow on Twitter.
Follow the Unsealed Twitter feed to receive breaking news of the latest conspiracies as they develop.
Tell your story.
What did you see that you shouldn't have?
The government's known about it all along. Why has nobody told us?
Upload stories and pictures to our interactive map.
Join the movement.
Get the Unsealed bracelet and the unique code hidden underneath to access exclusive content. Stop living in the dark. Get involved in the fight to unseal the truth. Now, we are about to reveal the #1 most dangerous secret society of all time. A group whose scheme for global domination dwarfs anything that's come before. Number 1, the Illuminati. The Illuminati, founded by German philosopher Adam Weishaupt in 1774, called for a free society with equality for all. But it was all a smokescreen. In truth, this shadowy society was bent on the destruction of all governments and religions, to be achieved by forcing the masses into opposing political, social, and economic camps, much like the ones that divide the world today. Once separated, the Illuminati would instigate fights among these groups, causing them to weaken themselves. Once weakened, members of the Illuminati could then step in to quietly seize power. It's believed that the Illuminati used this divide-and-conquer method to spark the French Revolution. No one knows if the Illuminati ever disbanded, but traces of their influence can be seen in countless conflicts over the past 200 years. Many believe their latest target is the United States, and the seeds of discontent have been sown to spark a frightening social and economic collapse. The U.S. $1 bill contains potent occult images associated with the Illuminati. Today, the all-seeing eye is viewed to be a symbol of the domination of the many by the will of a few. Is the USA next on the Illuminati's agenda? Only time will tell. Freemasons, the Majestic 12, the Illuminati. Secret societies may be controlling every aspect of life on the planet, which begs the question, is your life truly your own? Unsealed Conspiracy Files.